Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to Newsroom Series on Channels Television. I'm Joke Rogers. Today, we're in the southeast, but first a look at some of our top stories this hour as we turn our attention to the elections in Osun State. As the state prepares for Saturday's governorship election, the Independent National Electoral Commission office along the Gbongan-Ibadan Road in Osogbo has become a beehive of activity with heightened security presence and election stakeholders present at the office ahead of the exercise. Security personnel are also on ground in large numbers as preparations intensify for their deployment across the state. Civil society organizations, journalists and election observers are also present as the resident electoral commissioner, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola, is meeting with the national commissioners and supporting recs from other states as final arrangements for the election are being concluded. Let's join our correspondent, Eitope Kuteyi, who gives us an update on the preparations ahead of tomorrow's election.
We're here at the INEC headquarters along Gbongan-Ibadan Expressway in Osogbo, the Osun State capital. And it's a beehive of activities here at the INEC office. As you can see, we have large number of police officers waiting to be deployed to their respective places of assignment for tomorrow's governorship elections. And also we could see a lot of journalists, civil society groups here at the INEC headquarters. But to give us more sense on what is happening here, we'll be speaking to the HOD, Voter Education, Publicity, Gender and Inclusivity of INEC in Osun State, Mr. Rufus Ariyo. Just tell us what is happening here as the eve to the election.
What's happening now is a kind of top preparation for the election. And although as INEC, we have already deployed our men and materials to the local government. So yesterday, the sensitive material was deployed to the local government. Now, the security people you are seeing here, they are now waiting for their own deployment to their real local government. We are going to work tomorrow.
Okay, so can you just take us through the process for voting tomorrow from the arrival at the polling unit to voting and waiting for counting?
A voter is expected to go to the polling unit with the PVC. Then tender the PVC at the polling unit. Then the name of such voter will be checked at the electronic voter register. When the name is found there, such a voter will be, we have to go through beavers, through capturing of fingerprints or facial capturing. After that, then ballot paper will be issued to such a voter. Now we enter into the voting cubicle and cast his vote. Although we are not experiencing any challenges, but nevertheless, where such challenges occur, I expect voters to exercise patience. At times, no impatience may normally cause apprehension. Let them be patient because every issue will be resolved in real time.
Okay, what about for voters that might have this fear that if they come out, they will be molested, they will be harassed and intimidated, and they wish to come out and discharge their civic responsibility tomorrow? So what message do you have for them?
No, this is an off-cycle election. So there are more than enough deployment of security personnel into this state. So the polling unit tomorrow, there is no unit that will have less than 3 security personnel, apart from the security that will be patrolling. The military that will be patrolling because that they are not permitted to go to the polling units. So there can't be breach of peace anywhere. There will never be any breach of peace. So I want to encourage people to just come out and exercise their franchise tomorrow. On or before 7 a.m., all men and material will have arrived at all the polling units. But election will not start until 8:30. So it means we are going to be the one waiting for voters tomorrow.
Okay. So finally, what message do you have for Osun voters?
I want to encourage people of Osun that they should come out en masse tomorrow, because I am sure the election is going to be peaceful. Because there are enough security officers in town, everywhere. So there can't be any breach of peace anywhere. And I want to encourage people not to engage in the good trading, because the anti-graft agency are the police units. Whoever that is caught doing such will be apprehended. So let everybody come out in a peaceful manner and cast their vote and wait for the result. They should just come and cast their vote. They should not allow just few people to determine their destiny. The beauty of democracy is that you use your own hand to determine your destiny. Use your own hand to elect your own leader that you want. So let everybody, people, voter, Emma, let them come out tomorrow to cast their vote.
Thank you very much. Voter education, publicity, gender, and inclusivity, INEC Osun State, Mr. Rufus Ariyo, speaking to us there, telling us more about what we need to know about the Osun State governorship elections tomorrow. Channels Television is on ground to bring you up to speed with every event as it unfolds regarding the Osun State governorship election, now, during the election, and after the election. It's back to you in Lagos.
Now to the newsroom series, and we're starting the program off in Enugu State, where ahead of the official commissioning of the Enugu International Hospital, Governor Peter Mbah has undertaken a pre-launch tour of the facility for an on-the-spot assessment of its infrastructure and equipment. Governor Mbah says the hospital is designed to cater to people across all socioeconomic classes while attracting top medical professionals from around the world, thereby positioning Enugu State as a medical tourism hub and reduce the number of Nigerians seeking specialist healthcare abroad. A new chapter in Enugu State's healthcare sector is taking shape as Governor Peter Mbah undertakes a pre-launch tour of the Enugu International Hospital ahead of its official commissioning. Accompanied by the director of the facility and a team of specialists, the governor inspects the hospital's facilities and equipment, receiving briefings on the various departments and the services they are designed to provide.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
From the consultation areas to specialist departments and other critical facilities, the inspection offers the governor a first-hand view of the level of preparation for the commencement of services.
If you look at our intervention in the healthcare sector, it's been quite deliberate, very intentional, from the primary healthcare to the secondary, tertiary, and now maybe quaternary. So we have been very intentional to make sure that our people have access to quality healthcare. So we're quite big on security and healthcare because we know that's what investors would ask you.
Beyond healthcare, the facility is expected to create new economic opportunities from direct employment to the development of specialized skills and supporting businesses within the healthcare value chain.
We were excited about that in terms of job creation. This is going to create quite a whole lot of jobs. And you also know that this is not, again, an accident. If you look at our intervention in the healthcare sector, it's been quite deliberate, very intentional, from the primary healthcare to the secondary, tertiary, and now maybe quaternary. So we have been very intentional to make sure that our people have access to quality healthcare.
The director of the facility, Professor Sam Agu, highlights the range of specialist services expected to be available, with the hospital designed to provide advanced care across multiple medical disciplines.
We have earmarked six specialty centers here. So you start with cancer, and then with the cancer services, we are going to provide medical, surgical, and nuclear medicine, therapeutics, and diagnostics. Okay. Then we're going to have cardiac and vascular center of excellence to do with all heart problems and open heart surgery, as you may know it.
With more than 300 beds, the Enugu International Hospital is positioned as a comprehensive healthcare facility targeting world-class specialist medical services. Its establishment is also expected to open up opportunities for healthcare professionals, support skills development, and position Enugu State as a destination for medical care. The Ebonyi State government has inaugurated a specialized task force on solid minerals development to curb illegal mining, enforce safety standards, and block severe revenue leakages across the state. Speaking at the inauguration in Abakaliki, the Commissioner for Solid Minerals Development, Chinedum Nka, announced that the task force units will be deployed across all 3 senatorial districts to maintain continuous oversight, while acknowledging federal authority over mining licenses. The Commissioner emphasizes that the state retains its constitutional mandate to protect its environment and citizens from operator impunity, including abandoned excavation pits and unfulfilled community development agreements. The task force is tasked with enforcing state laws, including the ban on nighttime mineral haulage, stopping child labor, preventing tax evasion, and intercepting stolen minerals. To prevent impersonation, officers will undergo joint training with security agencies and wear official uniforms. Mr. Nkai issued a strict warning against corruption, cautioning officers against unauthorized enforcement actions or extortion. And Nigeria's drive towards innovation-led industrial growth has received a boost with the inauguration of a manufacturing technology University Innovation Pod known as the Manutech Unipod at the Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike, Abia State. The initiative is expected to strengthen research, entrepreneurship, and digital manufacturing.
A new chapter in Nigeria's innovation ecosystem begins at the Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike, with the inauguration of the Manufacturing Technology University Innovation Pod. The facility was established by the United Nations Development Programme in partnership with the federal government and the Tertiary Education Trust Fund.
We have a determined leader.
Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, unveils the facility on behalf of the Vice President, Kashim Shettima.
Today's event permanently aligns with the renewed agenda of Mr. President, which places a high emphasis on education, innovation, industrialization, youth empowerment, and economic diversification at the center of Nigeria's development strategy.
For Abia State Governor Alex Oti, the partnership between academia and industry will stimulate innovation, strengthen manufacturing, and unlock new economic opportunities for young entrepreneurs.
Development does not happen in isolation. It is engineered by vision and sustained by partnerships. This is succinctly demonstrated in the National Innovation and Digital Transformation Partnership Program, NIDTPP, a joint initiative with the Federal Government of Nigeria, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, and the UNDP.
Representatives of the United Nations encourage young Africans to embrace innovation and entrepreneurship as tools for solving development challenges.
When we say this innovation pod is part of the Timbuktu initiative, the world's largest initiative to support Africa's startup ecosystem, we're doing something more than launching a development program. We're reclaiming an African legacy. Today, here in Umudike, we continue a remarkable journey of innovation that is unfolding across Nigeria. From artificial intelligence in Lagos to Mindtech in Nasarawa, and now Manutech in Umudike, we are steadily building a nationally connected innovation ecosystem that transforms talent into enterprise, enterprise into industry, and industry into national competitiveness.
The Manutech Unipod forms a key component of the National Innovation and Digital Transformation Partnership Program designed to transform Nigeria's tertiary institutions into innovation-driven hubs.
The first phase of this partnership, we are activating 7 university innovation unipods and 1 polytechnic pod. In addition, we are also operationalizing 12 tech-fund innovation hubs across the country.
This occasion affirms a simple but powerful truth. University can no longer be measured only by the graduates they produce or the papers they publish. They must increasingly be judged by the industries they enable, the enterprises they nurture, the technologies they commercialize, and the solutions they provide to the society.
The event also features an exhibition of locally developed products and innovations, giving entrepreneurs the opportunity to showcase their ideas as government, development partners, and academia.
When we come back on Newsroom Series, Imo State celebrates International Youth Day. That's in a moment. Please stay with us. Welcome back. The Managing Director of the Imo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, ISOPADEC, Osun, Onyedebelu, has reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to empowering young people through skills development, agriculture, digital training, scholarships and grants to enable them become productive citizens and entrepreneurs. Speaking at the 2026 International Youth Summit to commemorate International Youth Day, he says youth development remains a strategic priority of the Imo State government. He adds that the Commission will strengthen partnerships with development partners, United Nations agencies, financial institutions, and federal government institutions.
I firmly believe that the greatest resource of any society is not oil, it is not land or infrastructure. It is in human capital. Our young people represent the energy, creative intelligence, resilience, and the entrepreneurial capacity that will determine the future of our communities, our state, and our nation.
Meanwhile, some other government officials at the event urged youth to take advantage of available programs in agriculture, technology, and entrepreneurship, stressing that human capital remains the greatest resource of any society.
Today, due to the digital transformation that is happening globally, His Excellency became just about the first governor to see an opportunity in digital economy. That instead of us depending on federal allocation or what goes to SuperDec in order to build and develop IMO, we can create a different kind of economy where people can use their knowledge, they can use their skills, they can use their creativity to create fortunes for themselves.
The ministry has taken out a special moment and gone across the 27 local governments of this state, where we decided to engage with the youth at the local level. We came to each local government, including Okigwe also. All the local governments in this state, we went there.
Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has received the United Nations Development Programme UNDP resident representative in Nigeria and her delegation on a courtesy visit to the lighthouse in Awka, with discussions centered on deepening partnership between the UNDP and the state in critical areas including technology, innovation, education, commerce, power, and institutional strengthening. Governor Soludo says his administration believes strongly in the partnership, noting that the relationship dates back to 2022 when the UNDP officials were the first to join him during his visit to Okpoko, among other areas of development cooperation.
Development priorities, funding, and the need for measurable impact take center stage as the United Nations Development Programme UNDP deepens its engagement with the Anambra State government.
That's just about it.
The UNDP delegation, led by its resident representative Elsie Atafua, arrives at the lighthouse in Awka to discuss development projects mapped out for implementation across the state.
Thank you for the leadership. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for all the things that you've done for the people of Anambra, by extension, the people of Nigeria.
Receiving the delegation, the UNDP resident representative says the engagement is aimed at strengthening collaboration and ensuring that the organization's interventions are aligned with Anambra's development priorities.
Here, not with a different agenda, we are here to accompany your vision and the vision of the people of Anambra. And like I said earlier on, in the United Nations and UNDP, our strength is not as, we are not a donor. We are just here as, an agency that is established by member states to support your vision. And so whatever that you think we can do best to support that vision, that's why we are here.
The summary is that just a little more work.
Governor Chukwuma Soludo describes the UNDP as a productive partner in the state's development journey, expressing his administration's readiness to deepen the collaboration. He, however, seeks greater clarity on the expected outcomes of the proposed initiatives, as well as the funding arrangements for the projects.
Governor, has no powers. Anybody who does it anywhere is acting with an ultra-virus. Unless you have to take it to Parliament, because it cannot spend public resources 1 second without a line item as appropriated by the National Assembly.
Beyond the immediate projects under discussion, the engagement reflects a broader partnership that spans several areas of governance and development.
Today is a yes, is a go. But where we are now is, from the governor's perspective, there are some adaptations to provide further clarity around what will be the outcomes of each of the things we are set out to do. So, but then, this is, everybody knows that UNDP is a productive partner in Anambra State, so we are trying to deepen the relationship.
With the meeting ending on a convivial note, both sides reaffirmed their commitment to sustaining the partnership, which it sees as an integral part of mobilizing support, strengthening critical sectors, and advancing its vision of a more prosperous and livable state.
Staying with Anambra State, this time to security matters, where the Commissioner of Police, Nana Oji, has commenced the 3 Senatorial Zone Security Stakeholders Interactive Summit, beginning with Anambra South Senatorial District in Enugu, as part of efforts to strengthen intelligence-led and community-oriented policing across the state. The engagement held in Enugu for the South Senatorial Zone, while Anambra North stakeholders gathered at Umueri, Anambra East local government area for theirs.
Security takes center stage in Anambra South as the State Commissioner of Police, Nana, begins a 3-zone stakeholders interactive summit designed to strengthen community participation in crime prevention. The first stop is Newi, where the police commissioner pays a courtesy visit to the traditional ruler, Igwe Kenneth Orizu III, where he emphasizes the role of traditional institutions in building effective security partnerships.
Our Uwoji was purposely for protection of life and property. And we should understand that we can't do it alone.
His entourage then proceeds to a meeting with community stakeholders to intimate them about the need for security operations through intelligence sharing, early reporting, and proactive crime prevention.
My approach as the Commissioner of Police of Anambra State will be based on partnership. We are going to partner. It's not me dictating. It's going to be intelligence-led. Our policing in Anambra State will be intelligence-led. I promise you that the police in Anambra State will be very professional in the discharge of their duties, will respect the rights of the citizens and residents, and will place accountability at the top notch.
The interactive session also provides room for communities to present their concerns, such as the need for increased police presence in remote areas.
Mr. Commissioner, this is a wonderful move.
this level of interaction where people have to air their views, to say their mind, to bring up their ideas, because no man is an island of knowledge.
We are going to have a rejigging of security architecture along our road, the checkpoints, the roadblocks, and then the issue of the community, aligning with the police, working with them, assisting them in the communities, because police is not only policemen. Our community men should equally assist the police one way or the other. And then our sons and daughters should also learn that they should enter the police and security forces. So we're trying to encourage them to join the police force and join the military as indigenous of the state, because most times Southeast don't make up their quota.
Next location is Anambra North Senatorial Zone, where the police commissioner meets stakeholders in Anambra East local government area, also in response to concerns on the need for intelligence-led community policing.
The mayors, the youth, market women, traders, cabinet members. If you want to solve security issues, you go down. You want to assist us, you go, don't hesitate.
Our local vigilantes, sometimes they will labor, work overnight, and perhaps catch a criminal. And if he is taken to the police station, highest 1 week, you will see the criminal get into the community again and start boasting or threatening people again.
As the three-zone engagement continues, residents and community leaders are urged to see security as a shared responsibility by providing early warnings and credible information that can help the police respond before crimes escalate.
And we're back in Abia State, where the government has announced plans to launch an integrated campaign to promote the 2026 Made in Nigeria, also known as Made in Abia Product Expo, scheduled for September 22 to 26 at the International Conference Center, Umuahia, as part of the state government's strategy to expand opportunities for local entrepreneurs. Speaking during a meeting attended by stakeholders, representatives of the federal government, entrepreneurs and journalists in Umuahia, the Commissioner for Industry and SMEs, Mike Opara, said the 5-day event theme showcasing Southeast enterprise, driving investment and accelerating Made in Nigeria will bring together manufacturers, entrepreneurs, investors, financial institutions, and buyers. And that's it on Newsroom series from the Southeast region. Thank you for watching. I'm Joker Rogers.